The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived.
The United Nations has issued its most somber warning till date on the issue of climate change. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has pleaded for immediate radical action on climate change, saying that record-shattering July temperatures show that Earth has now passed from a warming phase into an era of global boiling. Speaking in New York, Guterres described the intense heat across the northern hemisphere as a cruel summer. For the entire planet, it is a disaster, he said, noting that short of a mini ice age over the next days, July 2023 will shatter records across the board. His remarks came as scientists across the world have confirmed that July is on track to be the hottest month ever recorded in history. A set of new data released by the European Union's Copernicus program and the WMO have revealed that global temperatures this month have shattered all previous records. New data unequivocally show that so far, July has seen the hottest 3-week period ever recorded and the 3 hottest days on record. A blistering heat wave is sweeping the northern hemisphere, including parts of Europe and the Americas, with record high temperatures triggering devastating wildfires in countries such as Greece, Italy, and Algeria along the Mediterranean. The steady rise in global average temperatures, driven by pollution that traps sunlight and acts like a greenhouse around the Earth, has made weather extremes worse. Just as worrying is the fact that ocean temperatures are at their highest ever recorded levels for this time of the year. This trend has been apparent since the end of April. In fact, scientists are claiming that an important oceanic circulation that goes by the name of Gulf Stream current could collapse as early as 2025. The new analysis estimates a timescale for the collapse between 2025 and 2095, with a central estimate of 2050 if global carbon emissions are not reduced. The shutting down of the vital ocean currents called the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, or the AMOC, would bring catastrophic climate impacts. AMOC carries warm ocean water northwards towards the pole, where it cools and sinks, driving the Atlantic's currents. But an influx of fresh water from the accelerating melting of Greenland's ice cap and other sources is increasingly smothering the currents. The impending collapse of AMOC is one of the climate tipping points scientists are most concerned about as global temperatures continue to rise. Research in 2022 showed 5 dangerous tipping points may already have been passed due to the 1.1 degrees centigrade of global heating to date, including the shutdown of AMOC, the collapse of Greenland's ice cap, and an abrupt melting of carbon-rich permafrost. Ahead of the Climate Ambition Summit the United Nations is set to host in September in Dubai, Guterres has called on developed countries to commit to achieving carbon neutrality as close to 2040 as possible, and for emerging economies as close as possible to 2050. He said that leaders must step up for climate action and climate justice, particularly those from the G20 leading industrial nations who are cumulatively responsible for 80% of global emissions.
No more hesitancy. No more excuses. No more waiting for the others to move first. There is simply no more time for that. It is still possible to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius and avoid the very worst of climate change, but only with dramatic, immediate climate action.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.